In America, the leading killer, more so than cancer, is heart disease. The number one cause of disability and the fourth leading killer is stroke. A local nonprofit within our community teaching us all about these things is the American Heart Association. And joining us in studio is Communications Director for the American Heart Association, Jenna Winzenburg. Jenna, first time on the show, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. Tell us a little bit about what exactly is the American Heart Association.
The American Heart Association, our mission is to make our lives healthier. Healthier communities, healthier families. So what we do is we go out and we teach people how to eat healthy, how to exercise more. 80% of heart disease is actually preventable. So what we're trying to do is get out there and help people be in a better situation so they don't have to go through what we see a lot of our survivors go through.
Let's talk about some of the things that I've been privileged to be a part of. Obviously, one that's coming up in June is your CPR week. What exactly are you trying to teach there?
So what we found with CPR is that most people, if they're walking along the street and they see somebody go down, they're a little hesitant to do mouth to mouth. You know, you don't know where that person's been. It's a little bit germophobic type thing. So what we found is if we teach people hands-only CPR, they're much more likely to help. And what we want to do is just get any type of blood flow going to the brain. So what we're teaching this year with CPR week is to do hands-only CPR, just to do repetitive compressions on the chest. And of course, call 911 first to make sure that the paramedics get out there and you get people help as soon as possible. But that's mostly what we focus on with CPR. We just want to get them some sort of help.
Let's talk a little bit about one of your biggest fundraisers that you have, the Heart Walk. What exactly is that? And then we'll go into more specifics as to where it's local to us.
Sure, the Heart Walk is a fantastic community event. It's free to the public. You can bring your kids out. There's an expo area where you get to reach out to the businesses in your community, and you go on a about 3-mile walk. It takes maybe 40 minutes, and it's all about hanging out with your friends and walking for a good cause. Any money that we raise goes to support the mission of the Heart Association and goes back to research in the community, putting AEDs in the community, and helping more with the outreach in our families.
Let's talk a little bit about the importance, obviously being a nonprofit. What's the importance of state the obvious here, the importance of fundraising?
Basically, what we do with our fundraising is we put it right back into the community. And that's what's so great about the American Heart Association is that we do teaching gardens with kids. Any money that we raise goes to funding research for drugs that are used to treat heart disease, or teaching our hospitals how to get stroke patients in and treated faster. So all of the money that we raise goes to mission-oriented goals, where we're actually reaching out and helping people get healthier or treat them if they've had a situation with heart disease or stroke.
Our tax collector, Joe Tedder, is very, very big into the Polk County Heart Walk. A lot of the things that you guys do. Last year, I was lucky enough to be involved with your heart ball. Let's talk a little bit about that. That's a nice little gala you've got going on there.
It's a really cool night. We have a lot of people from the community come in and support us, and we always have a great survivor story. This year we had a wonderful little kid. He actually had a heart attack on the mound at one of his baseball games, went down, and he was strategic in getting AEDs placed at baseball fields throughout Polk County as well. So it's one of those situations where the community comes together and talks about what's going on in our community with heart disease and stroke. And it's also a really fun night. There's tons of dancing. There were a lot of people out on the dance floor doing the Cupid Shuffle this year, I got to tell you. And we also have really cool auction items. It's a fun night. You can come hang out with other local leaders, and it's a great way to reach out to the community.
When you speak of the AEDs being in strategic places here within the county building. In the last few years, we have them on probably 3 of the 5 floors. Just about any place you go, you can find them. Talk about the importance of saving. One of the interviews I did last year for the Survivor Story talked about they were just lucky enough that a guy, one of the doctors went up was playing tennis and went to serve the ball, and as he hit it, he felt a great pain in his chest, and he said that's the last thing that he remembered. it was a Saturday, and usually there weren't people at the club. The tennis pro happened to be there, and the AED happened to be underneath his desk. Strategic place. Talk about what these things can do to save lives.
One of the most important things that we talk about is how fast you can get help to someone. You know, when you're looking at a heart attack or when you're looking at stroke and that person goes down and you have to get them to the hospital, if you can get an AED to them, their probability of recovering any mental loss that they might have or saving their life goes up and up and up. So the faster you can get that to them, the better. Now, obviously, you're not walking around with an AED in your pocket. So what we want to do is strategically place them throughout the community so people always have access to them. One of the things that we've worked closely with in Polk County is getting them in sheriff deputy cars. So I think that that's part of it, is just saying wherever there's a place where a lot of people are going to be or where you think there's a risk for a cardiac event, we want to put an AED there.
We talked a little bit about creating awareness and getting the exercise. Talk about the importance of a healthy lifestyle, of what it can do for your heart, for your health.
People always roll their eyes at me when I talk about this.
Here they go. You ready for it?
Exactly.
Here comes the rolling eye shot. Ready? Here's Brian rolling his eyes.
See, exactly. That's always the response we get. I'm not telling you have to eat a salad every day. I'm just saying be more conscientious about what you're putting into your body. You know, just don't go grab a big old bacon burger every time when you go to dinner. Just saying be a little bit more heart healthy when you're eating things. I mean, it's something little too. You can replace the bottle of soda with a bottle of water. That's not huge. And we just want to come in and say, okay, just think more about what you're putting into your body, be more conscientious when it comes to working out. You know, we recommend 150 minutes of exercise a week, but that's 30 minutes a day, Monday through Friday. And people always say, oh, I don't possibly have time for that. But it's pretty simple when you try to work it into your schedule. And that's all we want to do is small steps. You don't have to do anything drastic.
And when you're talking exercise, it can be just anything to elevate the heart rate for that. So, you take your standard heart rate and try and bring it up, 10-15%?
Yeah, and what we do too is just go for a walk, Lake Hollingsworth, any of those spots where you can just get out, do a little bit of exercise. That's what the Heart Walk really focuses on, is just starting to walk, maybe 10 minutes 3 times a day. Go out for a walk on your lunch break, something like that. Anything that's going to get you moving. I
have 2 dogs at home, and they'll sit and poke their bellies and then laugh at me going, dude needs to take us for a walk. That's my inspiration there.
See, get them out, get active, and it's good for you too.
What kind of role do volunteers play in you guys fulfilling your mission, and how can people help you out if they're interested in volunteering?
We absolutely could not do anything that we do without our volunteers, and that is not an overstatement at all. We have to have volunteers for any of our events that we run, or any volunteers that can come and help speak in our community, or anything that they can do to help would be fantastic. So if you go to heart.org, you can find the local Polk County chapter of the American Heart Association, and you'll be directed to a very nice woman named Jen's email, and you can send her an email, or you can also go to our Facebook page, which is Polk County American Heart Association, and you can send us a message and we'll get you all set up. We love our volunteers.
And then, of course, if anybody's ever willing to sponsor the cause or ever have a fundraiser for
Absolutely.
You, can they do that? How do they go about doing that?
Same way, heart.org, or you can go to our Facebook page, which is Polk County Heart Association.
Well, with a little bit of time that we've got left, and inspire the people to get involved with the American Heart Association.
It's a really great way to give back to the community, and one of my favorite things that we do is we work with a lot of the kids who have cardiovascular disease, which is something you don't think about. I think when people hear heart disease or stroke, they almost think it's the old man's disease, which it's not. Heart disease kills more women than all the cancers combined, and with kids, we've got a lot of kids who are being born with cardiovascular disease. So there are a lot of ways you can reach out and work with these little kids who are just incredible. They have such a great attitude, and they want to help other kids. You can inspire other women to know their numbers, and it's a great way to give back to your community where you live.
Well, Jenna, I want to thank you for coming in today and sharing all the information with us about the American Heart Association.
Thanks for having me.
And anytime you've got anything going on, feel free. You're always welcome here on the show.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Right. And we encourage you at home to get involved with the American Heart Association, whether it be helping them through fundraisers that they have going on, joining them for CPR week or the heart ball, anything that you see that has the American Heart Association's number on it, I encourage you to get involved. If you need more information, give them a call at 727-563-8062, or more information is available on the web. Get involved with the American Heart Association today.